You're listening to Unspooled, the podcast where failed prints are just part of the journey. Hosted by Corey from Moji 3D, the guy who thinks filament is a personality trait, and Steve from Layer by Layer, who probably has more spools of filament than forks. Every week we dive into 3D printing, making, and the occasional rant. So grab your favorite filament and let's get unspooled.
Right, so we should be live. How is everybody doing? How are you doing, Steve?
I'm chilling. How about you?
Oh, not bad. We are episode 23, right?
Oh. Yeah, episode 23.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I'm still somewhat recovering from the 3D Printopia bug that I picked up, but I'm on the mend, which is insane because it's been like 2 weeks? I think pretty close to 2 weeks. What have you been up to since last Tuesday?
Honestly, I don't think anything. I'm trying to think, like just tidying up some models and messing with Nomad, and just really kind of just chilling.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm chilling because I'm not really doing a lot, but I'm so tired.
we have been shipping out some filament.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, been shipping out. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm tired, but I'm not tired. I'm just like I had a late deployment last night. But we've been shipping out filament. I'm done. I got like one roll that I'm saving for.
Yeah, I just got mine in yesterday. So some of it's gone already. 6 of them are technically gone already. 9 of them left. So, but so anyways,
see, I think he's working on it. See when he's got, because I don't even see Monster Mash or Spooky Swirl. I think
not yet.
Those on there. Gotta get those up on the. I love those as well, so I want to see those on the site.
Yeah,
just as much as I want to see our filament on there as well.
I know. It's an awesome filament, so I can't wait till you guys get it in your hands. We are sending them out as we speak. So
yeah.
But tonight's episode 23.
Let's see. What are you working on besides that?
Well, I honestly, I other than filament and trying to get past this cold, this illness that I've been battling, I've been largely MIA since 3D Printopia. Yeah. I'm trying to catch up on 3D Printopia because of being sick after. All the people that I connected with at 3D Printopia, I've been trying to reach out to since then. But really that's only been like the last 4 days.
Yep.
Because I really haven't felt well up until about that time. So, so tonight,
one more thing.
Yeah.
So that we don't forget, we got to put pins in it. Elegoo, Centauri 2, Centauri Carbon 2. They nerfed us on the
P2S. Yeah. I like it. We'll talk about it after. I like it. Yeah. I'm fine with it.
The P2S.
Yeah, and P2S
is about the Centauri Carbon.
But before we get into more other 3D printing stuff, we have an awesome group with us tonight, an awesome nonprofit. A lot of you guys that were at 3D Printopia or are familiar with CookieCAD or have seen a couple of Joel Telling 3D Printing Nerds videos. It's called MakeGood, right? Yep. So they're at 3D Printopia. MakeGood is an organization that uses design and fabrication, specifically 3D printing, to design various devices that help people with disabilities and struggle with things that helps them do things. And it's such, when I actually found out about it when we had Nathan and Melissa on from CookieCAD, and I instantly went to the website and it was, I fell in love with it. And then when meeting them at 3D Printopia, it like touched my heart what they're doing. These types of things in 3D printing really excite me. So when we got them, we have them on. I don't want to delay much anymore. So tonight we have Philip and James. And should we just bring them on?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's bring in Philip and James. Welcome, Philip.
Hey,
welcome,
guys.
James. And
hey, what's up?
How are you guys doing?
On?
So I started before we brought you guys on. I started to kind of get into it, right? Like, and then I kind of had to like rein myself back in, because what you guys do, 3D printing in general for me is everything, right? I get fired up about all kinds of stuff in 3D printing, but I get even more fired up when it's something like what you guys are doing. So for the people that aren't familiar in chat or that are going to be watching this that aren't familiar with MakeGood or you guys, can you just take a couple minutes and tell us who you are, and how you became involved with MakeGood, and then we'll kind of delve into what MakeGood is and what you guys do.
Yeah. So I guess I'll start. My name's Philip Dunham. I've been with MakeGood since 2023. Basically, we're a nonprofit that makes adaptive devices for people with disabilities. The founder, his name is Noam Platt. He's also from New Orleans. So he started it in 2021 because he was into 3D printing. He's also a healthcare architect, so he builds hospitals. So that's part of how we got involved with just helping people with disabilities generally. But he combined his interest in 3D printing and realized there was a pretty good use for it, because of the nature, and I guess part of it is because of his experience. He could see that the nature of 3D printing was enabling so much. I guess just because of the experience with seeing how, say, occupational and physical therapists work and like the nature of their jobs, it involves a fair amount of fabrication, but they're using, more rudimentary tools just because that's what was always used and what was available and until now. So yeah, Noam started it. I met him because a friend forwarded me his Instagram, and he happened to live like 10 minutes away from me, so we met up and talked about ideas. And at that point, I didn't know a whole lot about 3D printing. I had just heard about it and had really just heard that it had been kind of not reliable enough to be used as a tool. It was, the machine. Basically, I heard stories about the Ender 3s, and how they were really difficult to maintain it. So I had never really gotten into it. And then Noam, I guess this was 23. So this was a little bit after Bamboo had released the X1s, I guess. I don't remember that timeline exactly, but when he showed me how reliable the printers were, and I didn't have a background or hadn't been doing any of this around that time. So when he introduced me to that, I because of my background and having a little bit of experience in 3D modeling, I decided to pick that up and sort of taught myself, starting with Fusion and modeling. So did that, and then got an A1 Mini and started making things, and then was working on stuff for myself and just like, personal art type projects. And then Noam and I started collaborating on more ideas, and that was kind of around when he wanted to expand the nonprofit a bit and kind of grow it, because he has a vision of MakeGood being a bigger organization. So he asked me to join with him and work with MakeGood more full time, and that's kind of how I got here. And then, then we met James, and I guess James can take it from there and talk about how, the next stage of MakeGood with when he joined.
Sure. Hey, James.
Yeah. So I joined in MakeGood officially last summer, so the summer of 2024. At the time, I was finishing my last year at LSU, getting my undergrad degree, and pretty much just looking for something that I could do related to creating medical equipment, because that's really what I wanted to do. A little bit of like my personal background. I was born with a partial left hand, so as a kid, I would always have to like figure stuff out myself, and I tried using traditional means of fabricating to make stuff for myself. I tried using traditional means of fabricating.
Sorry about that.
Right. We had a little bit of feedback there.
I tried.
Sorry, something on my computer.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, James.
So I tried using traditional means to create stuff to help me around the house, on the ranch, and in the weight room, and on the football field and stuff like that. And it was cool, but it wasn't really safe. So I met Noam like in 2020 during my freshman year at LSU when I was doing engineering, and I was taking like some design classes, and I like knocked all the design classes out of the park, and then I switched out of engineering. So I like had a little bit of background in design, a little bit of background in like fabrication, and then that's kind of why I said yes to joining up with Noam and Philip and everyone else in designing stuff for people with disabilities, because that's pretty much what I was already doing. And it's what I want to do in the future.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's and like that. So just so everybody in chat knows, MakeGood was at 3D Printopia. Philip and James were at 3D Printopia, where we did meet them in person. Awesome guys, awesome organization, great guys. So that's really cool stories about how you guys came into MakeGood, and it's so cool what you guys are doing now. When I look at things, you guys at this point, so MakeGood is now what, 4 years or so in? If it started 2021-ish. So I mean, you guys have supplied like well over 3,000 devices or so and counting.
Definitely more than that.
Yeah. So thousands of devices. So one of the things I think that a lot of people are going to see is obviously the chair that was designed that is like fully 3D printed. I mean, even the cushion of the chair, the straps, the buckles, I mean, everything for to help these children with mobility. But you guys are also doing you guys are partnering, is it with Maker Lab, right? So a lot of these devices, like the handheld devices and stuff that you guys are working on, are available on Maker World, so that anybody can just print these things, right? You guys aren't selling these devices. You guys are designing these and then just providing them for everybody, right? To just make and use. So what kind of, like James, you and I had briefly talked at 3D Printopia about basically connecting with therapists that are in the field, and are they the people, and then the people that are using them, the ones driving how these things are designed? Because Philip, you had mentioned orthopedic or therapists using like rudimentary stuff. So I'm guessing they were probably using like wood or foam or stuff to manufacture things. Whereas 3D printing being such a rapid prototyping, you can now just design a part and then print it. So is the idea to kind of get 3D printers in the hands of these people where they work, so that they can just design and produce the part? Is that kind of where MakeGood is going?
So yes. So I guess it's yes and a combination. There are already physical therapy clinics that have 3D printers in them. I mean, one that I've been to, I was going through it for an appointment just for myself to get a wheelchair fitted, and I was going down a hallway, and I could see a P1S through a door. So I was like, I caught my eye, and I was like, yo, I asked him about it. And yeah, like, so there are some hospital systems already putting 3D printers in physical therapy clinics, because there are actually already, because of the medical uses on the commercial side, there are some hospitals that are printing some advanced stuff where they'll have, if they have some specific need, they'll have some printers on hand. So I think some bigger hospital systems are already familiar with it.
Yep.
And we're seeing it more and more on the, in actual clinics where it'll be printing devices. And so I guess it's also a combination of like where devices will be designed. I think it would end up being a combination. We have worked with some clinicians in teaching design. We actually had a class. It was like a 4-week class over the summer, where we had like physical therapists and some other people within healthcare. So we do want to teach people that are working in the clinics design, but also for some it may not be realistic to be able to design things from scratch. So we also want to facilitate the ability to just print devices, or do something like like Maker World has recently implemented like parametric adjustments on like through the site itself.
Yep.
So, quick question. So, with like MakeGood, because you have the NOLA at the end, and I understand it's partially because there's a lot of like MakeGoods and stuff like that. But is this something that you guys want to spin up hubs in like other cities, like at least in the U.S., if not like around the world? So then there's like MakeGood New York, or MakeGood Seattle, or Chicago, or places like that, where it's kind of like you have these ambassadors of of some of the stuff that you guys are doing, and just kind of like following in that same suit? Or is it just kind of like we know that it's anybody can do it, but do you want to carry the MakeGood name kind of further than New Orleans?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And go ahead,
You can go ahead, James. You can go ahead and take that.
I was gonna say, with having everything that's open source the way that we have it, we really want to just encourage people to use whatever printers that they have to impact their community. So like if they have something that they see on our website that they know could help 5 people in their community, go ahead and print it out, help them out. And then if there's someone that has like a really specific need that you need a more advanced designer to help you with, we would contact them ourselves, or have however the contact would happen, let us know. And we'll work with the people to help them design specifically to the needs of that person in their community. It's not necessarily about growing MakeGood as it can be, but growing the idea of making something that helps people in your community that we want to see take over 3D printing.
Yeah. So like, would you guys offer like a course in a sense of like, hey, you can become like a MakeGood certified maker, so that like, because with 3D printing, there's you send out the files, but people can tweak files to save time, and those things that you don't want to happen, because you guys have vetted these parts, and you're like, okay, this part works good with this, it's safe, it's firm, it's not gonna break or shear or anything like that, just to guarantee that like, hey, okay, look, this person is a MakeGood certified print master, or whatever you want to call it, in your area. And you can hook that person up, like, hey, family, with a child who needs a wheelchair, you can go to this person and they can hook you, get you guys set up with, a wheelchair, and we know that we're sending you to someone who is, has been vetted, because there is, the issue of potential safety stuff, because, kids,
There's a way to break it. They're gonna find it.
Yeah. I don't care, like, if you're, fully capable or disabled, kids are kids, and they will figure out how to, like, to break some stuff. No, go ahead, Corey.
So kind of along the lines of that, where Steve was saying, where these parts are designed to be sturdy, and they're obviously designed to help people, so they want to be of good quality. Do you guys, I think I had spoke with you, James, and Phil, I think both of you about this at 3D Printopia. So I briefly worked in the medical field in marketing for close to 2 years. And what I found in the healthcare field was that it was often slow to move to change, right? Or to implement something that could potentially be good because of various reasons. And a lot of times it would be uncertainty, or insurance, or a legality, or could it be something. So do you guys find that one of the difficulties that you find with the ability of additive manufacturing to be able to help, because we know it can, right? We know that it has the ability to make these parts, quality parts, but outside of medical printed devices, it can oftentimes be difficult for us as 3D printers to prove to people that these parts are a finished product, right? Because a lot of people that are even aware of 3D printing still think that it is 12 years ago with an Ender 3 producing a barely printable part that just crumbles in your hand, right? A lot of people think that it's just a prototyping machine that does a part, and then you go and machine it or injection mold it, right? So do you find a lot of pushback from therapists that maybe aren't familiar with it, or are familiar with it but not in the sense that they think these aren't strong enough or aren't sturdy enough to help? Do you guys have to prove that? Trying to get into?
So there's a yes and no.
Yeah.
Or I guess it depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Therapists tend to not care. They're just,
if it
they're
works,
like, whatever works, I don't care. If it looks right, works right.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's it. That's all they need to know. Because they're the ones that, we're the ones making things, which, and so they see that, and like, I guess it's, I don't know, have trouble describing, but like, they're using stuff like sheets of a material that's, maybe 1/4 inch thick, that you soak in hot water to make malleable, to make splints and stuff. So, they're not fazed by, like, something being that may not look, polished, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, the therapists aren't usually the ones we have to convince, and we don't tend to encounter anyone that, or a whole lot of people that have any, negative preconceptions about 3D printing. Most of the people or at least I come in contact with and interact with that haven't heard of it, it's usually just kind of like, oh, I've heard it's kind of cool. Nothing particularly negative. We have had, where we do have resistance is from administrators in hospitals. It's about, like, for them, it's uncertainty, and they worry about liability and who's responsible, and like if something breaks, or if something isn't cleaned properly and causes an infection because it's used improperly, or whatever scenario they may have in their mind. So that's something we've encountered. I guess it depends on, the hospital system or, whatever organization you're dealing with,
Yeah.
whether or not it ultimately becomes a barrier or not.
Yeah.
I think you guys kind of make it like, I mean, it's different if like someone who's fully capable goes in there and says, "Hey, we got these things that will make people's lives better," and then versus you guys showing up and say, "We got these things that I know for a fact have made my life better," and if you introduce these to people, they may help them out as well. So I think it probably is definitely a benefit to that side of it,
So if I am someone like, so when I found out about you guys and I talked to you at 3D Printopia about it, it was like, if I live in Maine, right? So I am aware of Maine being a more rural state, where access to healthcare, it can be more difficult for people, right? Because James, you had mentioned a hospital, I think, in your area, or a place in Louisiana where people were having to travel like a couple hours, right, to get to a place where they would do physical therapy or they would see a doctor. Where Maine's very similar. We have towns that could be 3-4 hours away from certain medical things. So is this something that would also be better for like rural communities too, that could allow these devices to get into the hands of the people that need them quicker with kind of less
we lost James.
Oh, we did lose James. Like quicker without less hoops that they have to jump through, because I could see it as something where if in my state, I've been to facilities and I've never seen 3D printers in like therapy spaces, or whether it be occupational or physical therapy. But if someone in one of these states, or say someone in our chat, is interested in trying to find them, or like, who would they speak to at a healthcare place to try to help with this, like kind of facilitate 3D printing use in this space, to try to expand what you guys are doing to their areas? Kind of like what Steve had mentioned earlier, whereas like having MakeGood and having these type of things spread out amongst things, would they go talk to like the hospital administrators, or would it be like if they know an occupational therapist? Or
I would say the therapists. Yeah, because they're the ones working directly with patients.
Yeah.
And that's why why I think we were able to do what we do. I guess without the direct contacts to therapists, and not being familiar with a hospital, it's hard to get to really get anything, or get introduced to anybody in a hospital. And its administrators are unlikely to be receptive to even patients, unfortunately, because administrators typically don't want to interact with patients. And so it really depends on, I guess, on who you're interacting with at the hospitals.
All right. So with people, with MakeGood designers, do you guys provide, or is there ways that people can reach out to you? Like, say I'm an occupational therapist or a physical therapist, and I become aware of of you guys, but I'm not really into 3D printing, or I don't know anything about 3D printing. Is there an avenue for them to be able to reach out to you guys so that you guys could facilitate helping them either learn design, or do you guys provide design help with an idea they may have, or help them kind of pick the right types of equipment that they could use to actually make these?
Yeah, that's actually something we get people contacting us about a lot. So yeah, I mean, we've worked with a number of organizations. Tends to be, I guess recently, universities. We're working with some local hospitals right now, just regionally, because of we have been making more contacts, and the more, I guess, we've been we started with some local hospitals here in New Orleans, because of both Noam and my relationships with some of the therapists. And then, James is in Baton Rouge, not far away.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know if y'all are how familiar you are with Louisiana, but Baton Rouge is an hour and a half from New Orleans, so it's not bad of a driving distance. But James is there at LSU, so he's been able to, start working with one of the hospitals there to basically do that, bring 3D printers into their organization and help with training, sort of, I guess, call it training, but getting people up to speed.
Okay.
And then we do also help with specific ideas. I mean, we have had a couple projects with the local hospitals where we'll work on a specific device.
Okay, so James, before we lost you there, what I was just trying to go is I was actually looking, and I'm going to share it right now just so people can kind of see what I was referring to. So I was kind of looking at this section of your site, kind of, your design process. And so what I was talking with, what Philip was mentioning was, if I'm an orthopedic, or if I'm an occupational therapist or a physical therapist, and I find out about you guys, or I find out that through, I think we lost him.
Yeah, I was going to tell you that it looked like it froze about a minute ago, but you were gone.
Yeah. So, all right. So we know. So, if they are someone who finds out about it, should they just reach out like on the contact page of your site, just like fill out the form?
Yeah.
To reach out,
or reach out to our, I don't know, I guess our names are up, or should be individually up there, but yeah, any of those methods, that form, or our emails, or Instagram.
Do you guys take requests outside of New Orleans yet, or is it kind of strictly New Orleans and the surrounding areas, like the surrounding states as well?
No, we'll take requests from anywhere. I mean,
Okay.
we'll prioritize like local stuff.
Yeah.
Because it does, I guess, we do like to work directly in person.
Yeah.
But we can. I mean, I've done a handful of devices that I've done just by like somebody sending a 3D scan, and then shipping stuff.
Yeah. So do you guys do scanning yourselves for people when they come in, or is that something that you have done like offsite and then implement it into?
So we occasionally do, but there are some scanning apps that are free, and
yeah, like Polycam and stuff like that.
Yeah, like Scaniverse is one of them
that
we've used. But for some basic, I guess, Scaniverse, and getting somebody, like, say in the recent instance, it was a parent whose son had CP, so he was able to scan his wheelchair for something I made.
Nice.
For the headrest. So I mean, it's not perfect, but I mean, it was the resolution and the dimensions were enough to do something reliable. I mean, that fit properly without actually ever meeting them in person.
Yeah, I saw that. That was the potty, the toilet attachment, I believe. for the parents of the kids, and they wanted to have something portable, which I thought was freaking cool. And that was like
Yeah,
one of
that
the
was
first
the
things.
first.
Yeah.
That was the so that chair was the first thing that I think Gnome. That was sort of the beginning
Yeah.
of MakeGood. That was the first thing he made. That was
Yeah, so it packs up like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was made of
crazy.
what is it? HDPE.
Yeah, that's what it
Okay.
looks like.
The type of plastic that's
Yeah.
like cutting boards are made out of. So,
Yeah.
and that was CNC milled. But then there were a bunch of 3D printed parts, like all the the joints and bumpers, all that kind of stuff.
So for just you guys, and this is kind of directed at both of you, like what's one thing that you designed that kind of like sticks out as like, and it kind of reminds you of why you do what you do. It could be something for yourself or something for anybody.
I guess for me, it's this phone holder. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay.
Just because this is something I designed for myself. It's really simple. It's really just a cuff with a magnet, a MagSafe magnet. And yeah, I use it. I mean, I basically leave it on my phone all the time, and it's really makes as quadriplegic, I don't have hand function, so it makes it a lot easier to hold my phone in a way that's comfortable, as if I was, holding it in front of me. Otherwise, it takes a second to like get my hand properly around it. So yeah, really this, because I think it's an example of kind of what we try to do is keep things really simple. I mean, not necessarily, to keeping it too basic, but keeping things, I guess, streamlined.
Yeah, and it's cool. I mean, the amazing thing about 3D printing and design is that you can simple usually means robust and that they print well, right? Because if you have a simple design, like I always tell people all the time that I know engineers who CAD design, and they can CAD these incredibly complex pieces and with animations and assemblies and all that, and then they'll design something and they'll show it to me, and I'll be like, yeah, you can't 3D print that, right? Like you could, but if you change this, and this, it'll print a lot better. And a lot of times they're like, depending on who they are, they're sometimes receptive to that and sometimes not. But yeah, simple often means that it's robust and that it prints easy. But the cool thing about 3D printing is that it is a rapid prototyping. So you can design, print, and then quickly iterate and do another, right? So it's neat that you can, and then you can also personalize to the person, right? Like if I've got bigger hands than someone, I can scale that phone cuff up, and it might fit my hand better than if it was 100% scaled. And then I see, so James, did you have an example of that question Steve asked about kind of the one design you've kind of worked with someone on that kind of,
or something for yourself as well? Just something that kind of
so I did make phone mounts for my vehicle and for my dad's vehicle. That's something that I've already made. But something that I'm working on now is a redesign of a hand attachment piece that basically covers my whole forearm, and then has a big screw hole in the middle of it that I can put different attachments onto to be able to do different things. I made it out of carbon fiber and some scuba suit liner that we just had here, but I'm trying now to redesign it to where it can be printed out of TPU and PETG or PTCG, I think.
Yep. Yep.
But I'm trying to redesign that so where I can 3D print different hand parts to put onto it, and the whole thing will be 3D.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah, dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So like in doing that, like have you hit like obstacles that like, you know, you had to call on Philip or something, or, you know, like do you guys like collab on stuff often, or is it kind of like go off and work on something and then bring it back and then everyone bets it, or how does that the collaborative part of it work for you guys?
So I think it's a little bit of both. Whenever we go off and do our own thing, we'll bring it back and then we'll try to vet it. And then whenever we're vetting it, we do that part together. So like we do the redesign together.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a mix. I mean, it's partially just because we're all in different places. So we're not in the same place to like review ideas and work on them collaboratively all every day. So it'll be a combination of just working on it ourselves, and then we'll either set up video calls or meet in the studio.
Yep. Oh, and that's also another great thing about using 3D printing for what you guys are doing, right? Because where you guys are in separate areas, right? So James, if you're working on a part or a model, you could just send the file to Philip, and I see the Bamboo Lab machines to his right, or to his left, actually, and he can print it out and say, hey, you might want to think about this, this, and this to help improve it. We do that all the time. Steve was recently in where were you? Toronto, right?
Yeah, in Toronto.
He was working on a design in Toronto, and he was sending them to us because he didn't have a printer in Toronto, and he's saying, print these out because I'm working on a design and I don't have a printer with me. So you guys, that's the other cool thing about 3D printing, is that multiple people can work on the same design across the world, because you can design it, send them the simple file, they can print it out and then make comments, edits, changes, and then send it back to you. And then you can also collaborate in the same CAD file if you share it on Fusion. I'm a Fusion guy, but my son's robotics team is big open or Onshape. So if you have an organization on Onshape, you guys can all collaborate in the same file. So so when you guys one of the things that I was looking at was like the pen ball device, right? So that gives someone that doesn't have a lot of mobility, maybe in their hand, the ability to grab onto a pen. Do you guys usually find that people will see that and then be like, oh, it would be cool if it did this too, or was changed this way, or had like more of a hand grip to it versus a ball? Or people just usually like, oh, they just use it as it is? Because in 3D printing in general, like I find when I do just a basic model, right, I put it out and then I get 10 people that are like, oh, that's awesome, and you could do this, and I'm like, I'll be like noting down, right, stuff, because I'm like, oh, that's an awesome idea that I hadn't thought about. So do you guys are obviously really passionate about this to begin with, but do you get even more energized when you find people that see these cool designs you are making to help people, and then they are like, take it even further, or maybe have another idea that maybe you hadn't thought about?
Yeah. The pen ball is interesting, because it was actually, I forget who came up with it. May have been from Makers Making Change. There's another organization that I guess is similar to us, maybe more like geographically spread out, but I think so they came up with that. It used to be just a hole through, it was two hemispheres, and it was assembled with 3 screws and nuts. So So yeah, it was 6. So yeah, 2 parts, then six screws or 6 pieces, and yeah, it was a pain to get together, and somebody with a disability like I couldn't do it. It required somebody with a lot of dexterity. Actually, I mean, a decent amount of skill just because of the shape of it and how small the screws were. So we took it and we figured out how we could, just print it in one piece. And then we started off with, I think, just a simple design, but we added the screw, the printed screw, and the shape of that. So yeah, all the cuts and shapes on that ball were various revisions and experiments, as either we came up with ideas or had suggestions from other people.
And I think the piece that went around the hand as well, originally it had just a hole to go through the top of it so that your pen was sitting like this next to the hand. But then someone made the comment, well, what if you wanted to do it forward? And then we made the revision to have a hole going from the top and from the side. That way you can do it going forward or coming straight down.
Oh yeah, I'm actually looking at that right now, so I can see.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have. Okay, so you can put the pen down through this hole or through here, and then I also see where there's kind of, different sizes or different shapes based off like the hand shape size.
Yep. Yeah. Depending on if you're younger or older, big hands, small hands, like whatever you need to make it more custom.
Yeah. That's another thing where 3D printing is the manufacturing medium for this, right? Because if you needed to do 15 different kind of iterations on the shape, not just the size, this would be very difficult and very expensive to do with something like machining or injection molding, right? Because every one of these, that if you had 15 variations because 15 people had different hand sizes or different shapes, you wouldn't be able to do that, right? It would have to be some type of like warmed up and moldable plastic, because you wouldn't just be able to injection mold. You wouldn't be able to create molds for 15 different types quickly.
Right.
So it's
and just creating the mold would be a pain in doing that.
Yeah.
So, quick question. So, how did you guys wind up working with Cookie Cat? How did that happen from your side of the whole thing? Was it just like, they got the best colors?
I feel like Noam is definitely the person to answer that question. But from what I understand, he reached out to Nathan one day, like out of the blue, and sent him some of the stuff that we've been working on and said, hey, we really like y'all's colors, and we have this project coming up, the wheelchairs, and we'd really like some really custom colors to do some really creative like color scheming with the chairs to make them unique to your child. And I think that somewhere in that conversation, Nathan was like, dude, that's actually awesome.
I think Nathan mentioned that when we had them on stream, that there was a specific little girl who wanted a pink chair.
The watermelon chair? Is that the one?
Was it the watermelon? Yeah.
Is that Little Bacon? Was that Little Bacon or no? Or
it is.
Yeah,
Little Bacon.
And okay, I remember that because they wanted a specific, to make it really stand out, and obviously nothing does that more than any of Cookie Cat's filaments, because they're just wild and awesome. So
we love them.
Yeah,
we love all their colors.
Yeah. So and you guys don't work. You guys basically work with a lot of filament manufacturers, or you just basically you're open to receiving filament from any source, right? So like if a filament company sees this or knows about you and they want to reach out, who would they reach out to if it was they could probably just go to the contact form, but would it be a specific contact at MakeGood for like a filament manufacturer if they wanted to donate anything?
I think it would be best for them to go to our contact form, but I'm pretty sure that the contact form takes them directly to either Ashley or to Gnome, which Ashley is our community liaison person. She helps us with all kinds of connections and networking and that kind of thing. And then Gnome is the founder himself, so he wears all of the hats.
Ashley, was she was at 3D Printopia with you guys, right?
No, that was
that was Sienna.
It was Sienna. Okay, yeah, okay.
But I mean, they can reach out to any of us as far like when it comes to manufacturers. Anyone can. Yeah, they can reach out to any of us. But,
okay, so if any of you guys out there are 3D printing filament manufacturers and you want to contact MakeGood to make a donation of some awesome filament, do it. Reach out. Fill out the contact page.
We do appreciate any kind of filament donations because any of it can go to prototyping and whatever we're working on. We tend to use a lot of PETG and
that was my question.
Not too much PLA. Just because of the nature of it.
PETG, and then I know James mentioned PCTG, which I'm a huge fan of PETG. But I've been, ever since 3D Fuel has come out with their PCTG, I've been kind of transitioning to that just because the printability of it is so good. And it kind of has all the benefits of PETG, but yet none of the drawbacks, no stringing, easier to print, less hygroscopic, all of that. So, but yeah.
Really? Is there a big cost difference?
So actually, this is a good time to ask that question, because so that was one of the issues with PCTG when it first came out, was that it was more expensive than from PETG. So similar to like ABS and ASA, ABS is really good, but it stinks. ASA is a better alternative because it doesn't smell as bad, but it is more expensive. So PCTG, when it first came out, was more expensive. It was right around $10 to $15 per spool more expensive than its counterpoint PETG. But a company like 3D Fuel, they recently just lowered their price. So now 3D Fuel's PCTG is now $29.99 a spool, where it was $30 or $35 a spool. So I think the cost of PCTG is starting to come down. So that's good, because like I said, it's kind of got all the benefits of PETG with less of the issues that it has. So stringing and not as hygroscopic. So if you live in an area that is really humid, you're going to have to dry it less. You're going to have to worry about the moisture content less. And I know where you guys are in Louisiana, I'm fairly certain that it's quite humid there. So I have been there a couple times, and it was rather warm. So,
but interestingly, humidity. Well, we do print out of dryer boxes, like for TPU, and make sure to dry it. At least just with my personal printing, it's interestingly like kind of sometimes moisture isn't that bad. Like sometimes I would have guessed it was worse. But I don't have to bother drying PLA or anything like that.
And it's funny where I live in Maine, so I don't live in a very humid state. So I don't have to dry most things. I will dry like TPU and nylon. Everybody has to dry nylon anyways, but and it's funny, like I know people that live in like Florida, which is a very humid state, but even in depending on where you live in Florida, that can kind of vary. So
where
you guys,
where I live out in the country in Louisiana, we got like 3 waterways passing right around where I live, so I have to
dry everything. Yeah. So would you guys print? So Philip, you mentioned TPU. You guys are printing the TPU straps, which I think blew everybody's mind at 3D Printopia.
It's
and
so
then
simple.
Also,
it's so simple.
Yeah, it's so simple.
And it's like,
but
how did no one else not it's like, how did no one think of this ever?
I have seen straps printed in TPU, but I've never seen anybody I've never seen anybody coil them like that. I think the video that Joel Telling did with Gnome on the strap, I think one of the straps they pulled off either an A1 bed was something like 6 meters long, right? Because it was coiled up.
Dude. That was crazy.
But that strap was holding 240 pounds ish, so I think, so not only I think what you guys are doing is cool because you're showing that 3D printing and design can help kids and adults with these disabilities and providing quick turnaround to a part that can help improve their life.
Yeah.
But you guys are also coming up with ways that anybody can say like, hey, because like I've been doing this a really long time, Steve's been doing this a really long time, and I'm not sure I've ever thought about doing that with a TPU strap. Now if I need a 20-foot TPU strap for something, I now know what to do with it, like, so you guys I think as the result of spending day in and day out designing stuff for practical use, you're just by nature going to come up with ideas that are going to help people even outside of someone, for as a device, an assisted device, like those straps can be used for anything, and that's the stuff that is just really cool. I mean, all of it's amazing, but
I mean, I also think that, like, even outside of people with disabilities, like, you just have older people getting older, and they lose some dexterity in their hands, your grandmas and your grandpas and stuff like that. So, like, not only do these devices help, people here, but they also help older people, who, whose life has changed compared to when they were younger, and I think what you guys are doing with it being so like simple and not overly complicated and extremely low priced, I think it's going to change. Is like this stuff is going to like change the world, like legitimately. It's going to change how people think about 3D printing, and it's also going to change the accessibility to accessibility, I guess. Right? It's
It lowers the entry point to someone needing something to literally pennies compared to what's commercially available.
So what Steve just said, I actually ran into last Friday, right? So I was working with an older lady who had a pen, right? And she was writing stuff down, and she kept going like this. She kept throwing her hand up and going, she had really bad arthritis in her hand, and she was writing all this stuff down, and she kept stopping all the time, like and she kept saying, I have arthritic hands and I can't do it. Like, it was colder that day, and that right now I'm just thinking, like, she was having problem gripping the pen because it was small, right? But if she was gripping that ball in the pen, she probably wouldn't get that pain in her hand like she so in that instance, I could have been like, hey, here's one of these, I could print it out and hand it to her, and she'd be like, oh, that's so it can help. I mean, it could help so many people to just say, like, like, for simple, I mean, I think of it like a mouse, right? So you have a mouse that we use all day. I work in IT every day, right? So I've now at work transitioned to like vertical ergonomic mice, right? Because the hand position of this over the years has caused me pain in my hand, right? So now I'm moving to vertical ergonomic mice. So we're always kind of thinking of ways to assist ourselves into less pain, more comfort, ease of use. So I think what you guys are doing could, like Steve said, just help so many people, and just kind of spur thought-provoking ideas of ways to help people beyond what I think a lot of, and then the ability to produce it, right? Because it's a lot of times it's easy to think of those ideas. Like I've been a maker my whole life, but I remember pre 3D printing when I was 8 or 9 and I come up with something that I wanted to make, I would have to like cut it out of wood or cut it out of metal or find some way to make it where I could bolt it all together, because I didn't have a machine shop I didn't have the ability to CNC anything as a 9-year-old. I didn't have the ability to injection mold anything, right? So I would have to use all of these different pieces to put together to make something. But if I had 3D printing when I was 9 years old, holy, like it would have changed my whole world, right? Like,
well, yeah, and I think that's one of the keys to it, is that it's really enabled. Like, I think we're talking about, as I had to run to the bathroom, like about injection molding. I think, or like how these things would be designed using injection molding versus 3D printing, and I don't think a lot of these things would exist. I think because of the barriers to injection molding, nobody's even stopped to consider and think about devices like we're making, except for people like OT and PTs, really. So yeah, it's the technology has really, I think, enabled things that just simply wouldn't have even been thought about before. It enables experimentation in a way that we just haven't ever had.
Yeah. Because when you're making parts for a person, they need to be organic, right? Because organic parts are comfortable. Big blocky parts aren't comfortable. So pre 3D printing, when you were making parts, it was hard to make organic parts, right? Yeah. Without a significant amount of working of a wood or a piece of plastic or metal, significant grinding and cutting and some type of subtractive manufacturing in order to get an organic part that felt comfortable in the hand. But now you can just design it in Fusion and then literally send it to the printer and pull it off 3 hours later and have an organic shape that's comfortable in your hand without any post-processing. And I think that's the thing that's just, and the fact that material has come a long way, right? Like the actual material science of places where the final material coming off is not only as the design a final part, a final piece, but the material is good enough to where you don't now have to post-process that, right? Like you don't have to sand it down for it to be smooth. You don't have to do something to it after the fact for it to be nice and for it to feel good in the hand. Because nobody wants, if you have like a pen assisted device, you also want that to be comfortable, right? Because if you're going to be using it all day, writing stuff down, you don't want that device to also cause you pain, right? So it's got to be comfortable and organic in your hand. But
well, yeah, that's what enabled a lot of. That's why the TNT looks like it does. A lot of that, the shaping of that, wouldn't be possible. And like the tire was something we were able to experiment with, and just printing that shape for the tire wouldn't have been possible. And that didn't really even take that long. That was just a couple days messing with surfaces.
And Philip, you had said off stream before we came on about the tire, the way that you guys were designing the wheel and the tire, that originally the tire was like popping off the rim, and then you guys simply designed, or somebody had come up with the idea of just reversing
reversing the dovetail
so that it wouldn't pop off the rim like that. And that's one of those things where it's like, if it's 3D printing, if you just really quickly redo that design, you can just print the part, right? Like you're not having to like retool molds to like reiterate that design. So it's just so much faster. So is there anything that you guys are working on right now that is like kind of new on the horizon that we might see at some point? If you can talk about it, that's okay.
I mean, we don't have any. We don't have anything major or surprising. I think we're kind of focusing on getting the TMT done, and then really kind of steadying, kind of like maintaining what we've built, I think. And then I think we'll start to think about what our next big project will be. I mean, Noam and I have some ideas of things we want to, some bigger like TMT type bigger projects. But I think for now we're trying to, get to the end of the TMT and go, head to Form Next. Because we're also, I do this, I wouldn't say completely full time, but all of us are like semi or part time with this and have other jobs, so that kind of limits what we can take on.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't have anything at the moment, but yeah, we're definitely going to have some projects on the horizon.
All right. So for everybody in chat that is thinking you guys are going to be at Form Next, which is going to be cool. Are you going to have? Is it going to? There going to be a MakeGood booth there?
It's I don't know. I guess we're okay to say this, but we're going to be part of Bamboo's booth.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Cool. That's really cool. So so if anybody here in chat is going to Form Next, I will not be in Form Next. I would love to go, but not. Take a look at Bamboo's lab, because MakeGood's going to be there. That's cool. So when is that? That is Form Next.
That is the 17th. It's November 17th to the 21st, I think, are the official dates of Form Next.
Nice. So you guys are Germany bound. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. So are you guys going to be at any of the other RepRap festivals in the next year? Kind of, 3D Printopia was kind of your first one. Did you guys find that valuable enough to kind of something you might think about doing again in the future?
I don't know if we're going to be doing every 3D printing conference, but I think we'll probably try to do a handful here and there. But it really kind of depends on our funding and how many people we have working together. And that's kind of what it's really funding that'll determine how much we're able to do.
Yeah, because you also said off chat that you are off stream, that you guys do kind of special. You guys do medical conferences and other stuff like that, right? To kind of talk, obviously trying to get into that medical gear space.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well,
cool.
Let's see.
All right, we don't want to keep you guys for too long.
So, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say, if you guys had anything else that you wanted to pitch to, or any initiatives, or even anything going on personally that you want to share, feel free. That way we kind of get that stuff done. And then if you guys want to hang out, you can. If not, you can leave us. We don't want you to go, but I'm just saying.
Well,
I'll definitely say to anyone out there who has an idea, try it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you hit a brick wall, try it again. Nice. And then if you hit another brick wall, reach out to us and we'll help you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Experimentation and just keep trying, keep designing things.
Yeah.
Because we all started from scratch. You don't need special training. I think anybody with ideas and the willingness and the drive to do it can figure out whatever they set their mind to.
Yeah, because I think most like a lot of the stuff that I like in 3D printing is like you call it the utilitarian, the practical stuff, the things that fill a need in my life or the need in somebody's life who reaches out to me to says, hey, I need this, or it's a part that fixes something that's broken. So I think a lot of times when it comes to my design in 3D printing, it's to fill a need, right? Or to improve some part of my life in some way, or somebody that I'm working with. And I think you guys just have that to a whole nother level. So if any of you guys in chat, or if you know of anybody, or if this has struck a chord with you guys as it did with me, reach out to people in your local area that this may interest, right? Like reach out to your medical professionals, or whether it's a family member or a friend of a family member or somebody you're familiar with, or even if you're not, just try to reach out to someone to say, hey, have you heard of this organization? Have you heard of MakeGood? Have you seen what they're doing? Have you ever thought of doing something like that?
I mean, even as simple as just kind of like if you know some OTs or whatever, or physical therapists, like, hey, listen, like go to the site, or these guys are making stuff that can help some of your people here.
Or even if you have like a 3D printer and you know that this is something that could help, print out 10 or 15 of our little pinballs and go drop off a bag.
So
True.
Yeah, so that was my next thing. I am actually printing your pen balls now. And that's what I'm doing. So one of my local hospitals, the hospital that I used to work with, they have a pretty big OT PT department. So I'm printing some of the pen balls out of our unspooled filament. And then some out of another PET that I had. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to bring them over to the OT department, and I'm just going to say, hey, these are what they are. And I'm going to tell them where they came from and what they're for. And if you want more, let us know. Because that pen ball is probably the ultimate business card, right? Like, not only does this thing fill a need and can be used by someone to do something and make their life easier, but it also is going to say, hey, this is from the MakeGood organization, and they are open to helping you guys with other ideas. Because I know what's going to happen, because it always does. I'm going to bring those, or if anybody in chat does this too, whether it's the pen ball or the hand phone device, whatever it is, if you guys print even a handful of those out and you bring it to a local OTPT, they're going to look at that and they're going to be like, that's amazing, thank you. Or it might have a light bulb in their head, and then say, how did you do this? Can we make this? And maybe if they're not already doing it, it's something they might be interested in starting. So
that was one of the things I thought about, was that like you guys are changing these kids' lives, and not only that, you're showing them that they can do it through being able to make their own devices. So now you not only change their life, but you're showing them how to change their life further, as well as how to change other people's lives. And it's just going to keep like going. And not only that kid, but like that kid's parents, might get a 3D printer now so that they can, upgrade some parts to, the wheelchair, or, to the pinball or any other thing. So it's going to like keep growing, like beyond like probably what you guys even thought, and you're going to probably wake up one day and see like, a ball in like southern Peru or something, or like some random place where you're like, whoa, they got one 3D printer there and they printed this ball to help this guy write a letter home or something, so
because I think the one thing that you'll find in the 3D printing community, so like there are people that own 3D printers, and then there are people like Steve and I whose entire lives are about 3D printing. There's something about us as a people and as a community, is that when we as a community find something that we really get behind and that we really think is cool and interesting and really serves a purpose, we can really get behind something and help push it. I mean, the Maker Chip's an example, right? Like the Maker Chip was just this tiny little thing, and now it's being made all over the world, right, for these events. And that's not even something that serves a purpose other than the fact that it's fun. But what you guys are doing, it's changing lives. So that's a thing that I think the vast majority of people, even if it doesn't affect their lives personally, most of them are going to be willing to get behind this and help push it. And I think that's where the 3D printing community could become valuable for you guys, is just to help drive the mission, right? Because you guys have a strong mission that has a lot of meaning for a lot of people. There's a lot of people in the 3D printing community that are disabled. We have a lot of 3D printing people, adults that are disabled veterans or disabled individuals that that have been probably doing this stuff on their own, right? So they might have devices that they've used that they could then share with you guys to just help with that, So like I said, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. But if anybody in chat or anybody that's going to be watching this in the future, we do upload this on YouTube. Reach out to MakeGood, make a request. If you have a device, if you have an idea, but you have no clue where to start, reach out to them. They can help you. If you have a 3D printer and you're able to print the pinball devices or the phone hand assist device or any of the devices that are on their Maker World site, print those out, supply them to people that that might use them, or bring them to an OTPT place or a hospital or some place that could then find people that would need these and distribute them. Just help spread the word and the love and the need, or and help fill that need. So I mean, well, Fern Dog, fellow Mainer. So Fern Dog is also a fellow Mainer. And I was not aware that Fern Dog was also disabled, but that's what he got into 3D printing for, right? And I'm guessing there's a ton of people that are like him, but then a ton of people like me who just want to help in any way that you can, So,
that's what we found, and I've experienced that since we've been starting to do these conferences. Everybody that we've met in the 3D printing community has been really receptive and helpful.
Nice.
So before we do let you guys go, so we did promise. We talked about this off stream. What is your favorite? Each of you, what is your favorite pizza topping?
I'd have to say probably spinach and feta.
Whoa,
that's good.
He pulled a monocle out. Like spinach and feta.
I am down with that, man. I love me some feta and spinach on pizza.
Jeez, man.
All right.
Too fancy for me, Philip, man.
How about you, James?
Kind of on the other end of the spectrum. I'm a barbecue and shrimp.
Ooh, I never had that barbecue. I like barbecue chicken pizza, but I've never had barbecue and shrimp. That sounds good.
Yeah, that's next level. That's a monocle as well. It's a southern monocle, but it's a monocle nonetheless.
And then other thing is, so far out of 3D printing, what's been your favorite 3D printer that you've ever owned?
Or used.
I've only had a Bamboo A1. It's the only one that I've worked with. I've tried to tinker with a mini that we had at the studio that was busted, but I wasn't able to get it back to life.
Okay. I think that was my first one, actually, the one sitting in the studio.
Nice.
I think the Z-axis went out, and it was just not. It was too much it wasn't even worth spending the time to fix it.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So
hate wasting things, but like
That's
at the
right.
same time,
Yeah.
what's your favorite filament, or like, not necessarily the material, but like, this is I love how this looks. This is one that I either A, want to use all the time, or B, I don't want to use it at all and save it forever. If you have one.
Some people aren't as 3D printing nerdy as we are, Steve. They don't
Yeah,
have favorite
dude,
filament
listen,
colors.
I got that nightshade from Cookie Cat. Number one, my Cookie Cat stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't
That's
ever
awesome.
want to use it. But that nightshade is pink with like iridescence or something. I love it, man. It looks so good.
I got it. Now I gotta
good.
find this one.
I do like Cookie Cat's the
Which
green
is good?
apple and the it's the green apple TPU, and then there's the light blue TPU.
Now you're not gonna be able to see it. It's all flash shiny. This is that what do they call it? Blue ombre. This blue ombre elixir. This is the one I got at 3D
man.
Printopia from them. But it's like
Is that Pet G?
no, it's PLA, but
Yeah.
it's like I gotta take it out of the bag. But it's like
You
a
bought PLA?
gradient. Huh?
I was like,
Yes,
you bought PLA?
I know. I never. The other one I got was ASA. I got their Dark Magic ASA.
Okay.
But it's like a gradient ombre.
Oh
blue.
yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, and it's got like a sparkle to it.
Yeah. Dude,
I'll
they
have
make
to-
some
we'll have
really
to see
nice
if-
stuff.
They have that if they're gonna have that in their Pet G, because I really like that color.
Yeah, I didn't see much Pet G there, but I didn't get over there till Sunday, so a lot of the stuff was already gone. And then like Sunday afternoon, some guy came by and bought like the entire booth.
Yeah, he bought whatever was left.
Whatever was
He
left.
bought whatever was left. It was insane. You guys should get him to do, or I say it like it's that easy, but get him to do a custom MakeGood color. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would
Like,
be fun.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
Cool.
We know.
I mean,
Definitely
we
gonna be
know.
something that.
Yeah.
We know a guy that might be able to
Yeah.
give you a custom Pet
Custom
G.
color. Yeah. Does he have any nice, super
Definitely.
nice? Oh, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got some
that would be
nice,
cool for you guys. That
Pet Gs.
like, I think that's one of the cool things that's kind of going to happen in 2026 is that more people will have like custom filament, to kind of go with their brand and and it's an easy way for people to support you. We did a custom filament and like people bought it and it's been pretty cool and there's probably still more interest in it. So I could definitely see like if you guys had like a cool MakeGood color that you guys are using,
So
both for
That would be
your
pretty cool.
for stuff, as well as people can buy it to support you guys. I think that would be
Yeah, that'd be a good
freaking-
idea.
I think,
Yeah, that is a good idea.
I think that
Yeah.
would
So,
be insane.
if you guys were gonna have a custom MakeGood filament, what color would it be?
Ooh, sheesh.
That's a tough one.
As soon
We
as you
really
said
do like bright colors, but I don't know. I mean,
What'd you say, James?
I was just saying, as soon as you started mentioning that, I started thinking about what color it would be too. I'm thinking like a triple color gradient of yellow, green, and purple. Because that's like the Mardi Gras
be down
colors,
with
right? That's what.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that would
I'd
be
be down with that.
that.
Yeah.
Philip, what would you think? Philip, what do you think?
And then
would
like
be
the gold.
yeah, I was gonna say some kind of purple or yellow,
nice?
and green.
Now I'm looking up Mardi Gras colors. Oh yeah,
those
it's like
are the Mardi Gras colors. Dude.
Yeah,
That would
green,
be MakeGood
yellow, and
Mardi.
purple.
Was it
Yeah.
MakeGood Mardi Gras? That would be insane.
I
Yeah,
think we could I'd like to have some, Mardi Gras-ish colors. We could make put our own spin on the shades.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Love
that would
it.
be sweet.
with a nice
Nice.
sparkle, nice glitter to it, or something
Mhm.
like a galaxy or like.
Yeah.
Wow. All right,
I like
now I want to see a tricolor green, yellow, and purple now. Like that would be pretty awesome.
That would be.
That's a lot of shifting, but that would be cool to see. I like to see the colors you get in the middle of that, because I mean that's what
you
happened
probably
with our
want to do
stuff.
more of a gradient than like than actual tricolor, but
Just
John
quick,
could
just to
probably
show
do that.
you. Oh yeah, you could. But this is all the same filament. This is all from one roll, and it's like magenta. This is like pink, and then you have like an orange, and then like a yellow, and that all came off of one roll of filament. That is.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
So
gradient.
if anybody could do it, John definitely could do it.
Yeah.
Is that Green Gate?
No, he does some stuff for Green Gate, but this was our
okay.
filament
Yeah.
that John made. But yeah, so
his company is called Layerwork Solutions, but
okay.
he made our it's actually called "You Kiss Your Mother with That Mouth." This is what our filament is. As a joke, but yeah.
Look, someone was like, "Oh, it'd be cool to see them make like a wheelchair out of it." Someone said that in the chat earlier. I was like, "You can't put a kid. You have to call it the other name that John uses."
Sunset. John has a less adult or a more kid-friendly version of it, and it's just called Sunset Gradient. So.
Yeah.
But
very cool. So we want to hold you guys. We just hit the 9:30 mark. We appreciate you guys coming through and hanging out with us and spending the night with us and talking about MakeGood and sharing it. Dude, it's really cool. Anything that we can do, feel like people say that all the time, but seriously, anything that we can do, reach out to us, let us know. We're literally online every day.
Too much.
We know a ton of people in the community, so anything that we can help out with, we're down. We're down. 100%.
Well, thanks a lot for having us.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. It was really great meeting y'all.
For sure.
Baltimore. And this was a lot of fun. We should do it again.
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
If you guys got something coming up and you want to let us know and we can get the word out there, that as well. So we appreciate you guys coming through. Wait, what's the website? You got a link for the drop the
so
URL.
It's MakeGood. MakeGood Design is the website. I'm going to drop the link here. You guys probably have already searched it up, and if you haven't, you should have been.
There we go.
I'm going to pin that to chat there. But again, check them out. I will let you guys know how my pen ball drop off goes. I did speak with you guys at 3D Printopia about some other stuff so I am going to be meeting some of those occupational therapists. So
awesome.
I'll let you guys know how that goes.
Sweet.
And then hopefully I can get them to maybe reach out to you or some other people. So, but again, thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you guys have a amazing rest of your evening. Hopefully we didn't keep you too late. So, and we hope to see you guys soon.
Awesome. All right.
See you.
Have a good night, y'all.
You too.
Thank y'all for having us.
Bye-bye. Yeah. All right. So that was MakeGood. Awesome guys. Awesome organization. They are just doing really cool stuff. I love everything they do. But yeah, I'm gonna print. I'm printing those. I'm printing those pen balls. I'm gonna try to print like I've got so much filament that I'm gonna try to print like 30 of them, and then I think I've got like 8 or 9 of them right now. But I'm gonna try to print like 30 of them, and then just bring them and drop them off at. There's actually a few different OTPT places in my area, so I'm just gonna drop some off and see if they have a use for them. So,
yeah, dude. Like I said, I was saying earlier, like I think it kind of goes beyond just like typical disabilities, as well as kind of like, and it kind of pulls in people who are getting older or have an illness or something that kind of doesn't allow them to use the world the way they used to, and like these things so simple.
Well, a physical struggle, whether it was something you were born with or something that you developed as or by an event in your life, or something that you developed over time, as you aged. there's a need, and if 3D printing can help, like for me, if like as I get older, I hope that at some point, if there's ever a time in my life where 3D printing can help ease a burden in my life, and I'm still able to do it myself, that I can just print my own stuff, you know. But if not, or that someone can print it for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Agro said we missed her question. What was her question? I didn't see.
It was.
I apologize, Agro. I see something to help.
Shoelaces. Oh, I was checking their site. I'm checking their Maker World. They don't have everything up on there. I don't think some of the newer stuff is not on there, or maybe stuff that they're still kind of like rehashing or whatever. But we'll reach out to them and see, you know, because I think TechJeeper asked about the straps or whatever as well. Yeah. So I don't think everything is up there just yet, but yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because I mean,
so all right, we got a few minutes. Let's do it. Let's do this real quick. Elegoo screwed us all.
No, I like it. I'm fine with it.
I'm not because I purposely bought the Centauri Carbon with the hopes that I was getting the MMU.
Well, there's still the MMU is still. I mean, they haven't not said that they're not coming out with the MMU. It's still.
They also haven't said that it's going to be on there. So
no, I still think they're coming out with the with their.
I don't think.
But
you think it's going to be backwards compatible? Because
I just think it's going to be for. Yeah, I think it's going to be for the Centauri. I think the Centauri 2 must be something different. But
also,
I mean, who knows?
It's so ugly. Why is it so ugly?
It's not. I don't mind it.
It is so ugly.
I don't.
It is literally 2/3 as tall as the printer.
I don't hate on. I don't hate on top hats, right? Like,
oh my, I don't mind them either, but that thing is ugly, bro.
I don't know. But you and I differ on this because I don't care.
It's ugly for no reason. Why is it so tall? I don't care
what the printer looks like as long as it does what I want it to, right? Like if it performs well, if it performs well and the price for performance is good, I don't care what it looks like. But
I can understand that, but it is so ugly. Like 100%.
But I mean, I don't personally own an AD5X from FlashForge, which is the other one that's that type, that form factor. Mm-hmm. But I do know a few people that
the side spools are fine.
Yeah,
that top hat is ridiculous, dude. Yeah. That top hat is ridiculous.
Mean, there's really no with that type of side-mounted MMU. There's really no other way to make a top hat without it being like that. It's got to have some.
I'm gonna say this, and that is.
I mean, the top hat on the
that
U1,
way, it'll always be ugly.
The top hat on the U1 is very similar. It's big.
It's not as obnoxious as the one on the Centauri Carbon 2.
I know. I don't hate it. I mean, if I love the Centauri, I love the Centauri Carbon. If this is anything like that, but the MMU works well, but they have to be able to tune the flushing volumes on it better than FlashForge, because my only complaint about the 85X, and like I said, I don't own one, but I know people personally who do have one, and I've used it. It wastes the way that FlashForge has it right now. It wastes a significant amount of filament, even more so than like the Bamboo Lab AMS or like the Ace Pro on my Cobra. So as long as they tune it better so that it's either equal to or even a little bit less of filament waste than the AMS, then I'm okay with it. I will be a little less okay with it if they turn around and say this is the alternative and they're now not coming out with the AMS for the regular Centauri. That I will not be happy with, because
they're not. That's what they're gonna say.
Well, we don't know that for sure, but
we don't. I'm just.
We'll there's space for both of them. But
there is space for both of them.
Yeah.
I will say this: if that thing does not work with the Centauri, I will never buy an Elegoo machine ever again. You hear me, Elegoo? I know you're watching, because you always are.
Just put a
never buy. No. They're always watching. See, Zombie said, would you rather the top hat be a part of the main printer? Yes, by far. I'd rather just enclose the whole thing.
No, see, I'd rather
I'd rather it be all one. Aesthetically, it just doesn't look pleasing. Like to me, I'm like,
I want it to be
give me a
removable.
straight box. I don't want that ugliness on the top of it.
Yeah. No, I want it to be removable because I don't want to have the top hat on if I don't need it.
See, Midnight Wolf even agrees. He says, I agree. I don't regret buying it as I wanted a cheap and close single color printer, but don't tell me there's future updates for things and then go and redesign the printer. Yeah, so.
But they didn't.
We'll see.
I mean, we don't know. They may still be coming out with the AMS for the Centauri. I mean, who knows?
No,
but
that's not happening.
If they're not, they're not.
I don't think it's happening.
I mean, and again, for me, it doesn't really faze me at all because I don't print a ton of multicolor anyways. So that's why I got the U1. I got the U1. That's going to be my one multicolor print, and I'll probably end up. I don't know. I was going to keep my Bamboo with my AMSs, the Python AMSs, but I'm probably going to if I'm gonna print multicolor, I want it to be fast, and I don't want to waste a ton of filament. So I know I'm gonna end up using the U1, and I'm never gonna use the Ace Pro or the Bamboo AMSs ever again. So I'll probably just get rid of them.
I'm still gonna use them because I make poop plates all the time. So for me, I'll still find a use for them. Just because the outcome of it, kind of like, well, number one. Everyone's not going to replace their just because the U1 comes out. And when the U1's printing, you still got to print stuff. And if you're doing multicolor, you'll still do it on other machines. You'll save the bigger multicolor jobs for your tool changer. So I think that's where it's at. And look, D says, that's fine. You're a reality show. Anyways, that's true. I am. And I wanted to bring up something while Philip and Corey were in here. You both hated on the Ender 3, and I did not appreciate that at all. We will be talking later about this.
I love the Ender 3.
I was like,
the
Ender
Ender 3 will always have a special place in my heart.
I had to keep my professional hat on. I was like, wait a minute.
I saw you get all like squinty eyed. I was like, he's gonna come unglued. He likes his Ender 3s.
Wait a doggone minute here.
So the other one that was on is the P2S, which again I'm not impressed. I mean, it's basically what Bamboo's been doing is they've been putting lipstick on a pig for like the last year and a half. I mean, it's like do the same exact thing, and you put out a P1S. Unless they come out with a screen and a camera upgrade for my P1S, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not buying a P2S. I don't know.
I think that to me the funny part about it was like it is basically an X1C.
Yeah.
They just turned it into an X1C and added a few extra quality of life enhancements, I'll say. And some invisible enhancements as well. But it just doesn't. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't think it includes LiDAR though. The P2S.
Really, all of that, and it still doesn't include LiDAR. That's actually.
I don't think it includes LiDAR. I know it includes their. I know it includes their like AI detection crud, but I haven't seen anything where it has they call it, their AI error detection, but I don't think it has LiDAR in it like the X1. But I don't. I'm just not impressed with it, right? Like, I wanted a larger P1S. I just want a 300 by 300 P1S.
I think they understand.
Like,
they don't understand.
Stop giving me 256 by 256 P1Ss that you put you've lipsticked the pig on. Like, I mean,
they did.
They basically just did. They turned it silver and did what we all wanted the P1S to do, was have a better camera and a better screen. Well, I had 50% of that. I had the Panda Touch until they broke it, right? With their ridiculous firmware. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, Bamboo has basically been off my radar and dead to me for a while. So, but they just keep pumping out all of these printers that nobody's asking for.
But people will still buy them, and that's all that really matters to them.
They will. People will still buy the
and
P2S,
it's also,
and they'll say it's the best printer they've ever had. But that P2S is going to be able to do nothing that my P1S can't do. Nothing.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I just don't get it. But I mean,
it's interesting. Like I said, they haven't really released anything that I'm like, I need that machine, or where I had any inkling of FOMO as far as the machine was concerned. So we'll see what happens when it comes out. I mean, you'll have two camps.
It's just like always. You'll have
the people who love it, the people who hate it, and the people who don't care either way.
Yeah,
and then we also got to remember we're always in the majority. I mean, we're always in the minority because we live, sleep, and breathe 3D printing. We talk about it every day with everyone who's in this chat, and so, but we're not their main customer. It's the farms, it's the regular people who make up the bulk of their sales. We make a small percentage of their sales. Our word can our endorsement can help with it as well, but still, we're not the main customer here. So, it's interesting.
So, like TechCheaper says, Moji, you'll be interested in the BTT Cyborg P1S Clipper camera. Yeah. So, that's something that I've heard about in the ether forever, and I would be super down with that. Right, like if I could completely convert my P1S to Clipper, I'd be down. I would drop everything that has to do with Bamboo out of that thing that I could, and I would just keep the hardware and I'd run it. So I would be super down with that. But yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I don't. I'm in the middle when it comes to Bamboo machines. Like, do they print well? Yes, of course they do. But there's for me. I used to have a lot of their machines. I now have one of their machines, and I will never have a lot of their machines again, most likely, because I don't just buy a printer because it prints good, right? Because every printer prints good nowadays.
Yeah,
pretty much every printer. So I then look for more stuff, and Bamboo doesn't check the boxes on that more stuff for me.
It's bigger. Good, people want bigger printers and consistent prints. Quality prints. Those are two things that people want the most. If you can strip out all of the extra bells and whistles, and as long as you have the quality of life stuff and bigger size and consistent prints, I think that's going to be where.
Like I said, I would be back in Bamboo's camp if I could have got a P2S that was a P1S but bigger, 300, 305, 350, by something like that, 300 plus. I think I'd have been down.
The U1 is cool, and the H1C and H1 the H1C and all that stuff is coming. It's cool. I don't think people are as anti purge as they kind of lead on. I think if a tool changer never existed, I think people would be fine with wasting filament as much as they it sucks. I was like, but I think it wouldn't be like a selling point. The U1 is kind of making it a new selling point, and it'll be interesting to see, especially after the H1, as well as whatever Prusa does with the Bondtech stuff.
Yeah,
it'll be cool to see if anyone's still making an AMS type printer 2 years from now.
Yeah, and for the most part, I don't think that people complain about AMSs and the waste and the recycling or going in the garbage and the cost of the waste and all that stuff. But I don't think it prevents the vast majority of people from buying a device with an AMS. They just do. They do, and then they just deal with the waste. I mean, there are probably some people out there that haven't, just because they're so environmentally conscious that they refuse to waste that much filament. But I think it's a small minority. But I do think that when out of the box tool changers become a thing, like the U1 and whoever the next person is that does that. The Wonder Maker, the Wonder Maker, the Wonder Maker. The Wonder Maker. That's starting to look pretty good, right? Like they're starting to produce some videos that have some substance to them.
They're getting active on the socials. They're like liking posts and stuff. And
I think once out of the box, well performing tool changers that are a lower cost become more available, I think that you may see that change, right? You may see people be like, all right, I'm done with AMSs and the waste, because one, it's costing me a lot of money, and two, I'm throwing all this plastic in the trash. Now there's an alternative. So I'm in that camp, right? Like, I don't mind the waste. I don't like it. I don't like that I'm throwing away or recycling, because I don't trust that my local town is actually recycling this stuff.
No, exactly.
I don't like the cost, right? I don't like just throwing away kilograms worth of poop.
Wait, you throw it away? I don't throw mine away.
Well, I recycle it through my town, but like I said, I don't trust that they're actually recycling it. But
my monocle.
So
I don't throw mine away.
Once I have the number of tool changer machines in my arsenal that fulfills my multicolor or multi-material needs, I probably will get rid of all of my AMS machines. I mean, I just will.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, to me, it would be like having a.
Don't you say it?
What? No, I was gonna say it'd be like me having like, not having an air fryer in my kitchen, right? Like, or having an air fryer and not using it. Like, just it would be like me having. Why would I, if I could have all tool changers? Why would I have an AMS? Like, you know, it doesn't really. If you can have one, they're just better for multicolor and multi-material. So,
cool. All right, we're hitting the 2 hour mark again. What is it? Is this the new? Is this the new norm? 2 hours.
The new norm is 10 o'clock, pretty much.
Yeah.
Unspooled After Dark starts after 9:30.
All right. Quick shout out to our mods on the Discord, GTR Dad, D, Agro, and Stroth. Thank you guys for all your help with everything. And hey, look at who shows up.
Oh, John. Hello, John. Unspooled After Dark. But,
oh my gosh, we should do like a maybe for like well, we almost at 25. That's too soon. Like we do like a late night one or something.
Yeah, we could do like a cool.
Hey John, we've been here pimping out your services to like the highest bidders.
We need a Mardi Gras gradient.
A Mardi Gras gradient.
Green, yellow, and purple. A 3-color Mardi Gras gradient.
Killer Prince wants a Super Freak. Yeah, and that's like a gold, magenta and blue with sprinkles.
Yeah, purple, blue sprinkles. He knows about the Super Freak, but now it's a Mardi Gras gradient for MakeGood.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up.
Well, let's. I'm already yawning.
I know. I see it.
Who's?
We appreciate you guys. I think Zombie just went live, right?
Did he?
I saw something pop up. Let's rate in the Zombie.
So we appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining. Number 23. MakeGood. You guys are awesome. Yeah. I'm tired.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. I don't even see Zombie on my list.
Yawn some more.
Oh, there he is. All right. Appreciate you guys. Later. I'm going to kick off the Rate to Zombie. See you guys later.
See you guys. Peace.